Okay, so we're gonna make some Stanley Cup nails. I have my gel tips here. They have 2 coats of this one by Gelish, and it is called Adorably Clueless. It's from the Clueless collection. We're gonna use the Joya Mia aluminum base. You're gonna see me swiping my brush. This is my gel liner brush. It's by Nicole J. As you can tell, I use it a lot. It's kind of gross on the handle, but that's my fault. And then to clean my brush, I always use this Cocoa's brush cleaning gel. It is a gel with no photo initiators, so it won't cure. And you just use it to get whatever other colors that you have in your brush out. Now, we're also going to airbrush. For our airbrush, we're going to use a number of colors. Okay, so we have the One Air. These are acrylic airbrush paints. I have red, I have black, and then I'm going to use the white from Aero Flash. And I'm using this one because I ran out of white from One Air. And before I airbrush acrylic paint on gel polish, I always make sure I hit it with a coat of matte gel top from Koopa. It's one of my favorites. So we have our gel tips. I'm going to zoom in. And we also have our stencils. So these are actually going to be Stanley nails, and it's for this hand. So these 3 will probably be the ones with the Stanley logo on it. I made some airbrush stencils here. These are my stencils, so I make them. I also sell them. And if you want to learn how to make your own or buy your own, I'm going to put those links and stuff down at the bottom, as well as links to the paint. So let's get started. I know that I want like a Valentine's Day-esque design, because why not? Stanley Cups, say less. My handpiece that I'm using is going to be a Iwata. The HPCH is from Japan. I will link that in the bottom also. This is one of my favorites. I got it off Amazon. So I'll put the link to that at the bottom. That way you guys can get it if you want. It's got a really good spray. You can get really fine, really tight lines. And that's why I like it a lot. So I got some white in here, so let me get that out. I'm gonna make the Stanley logo black. And then hearts and stuff, I'll do white and red. So before I do that, you always want to make sure you shake your paints up. So shake them up really good. What I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna layer in my stencils. Just place them where I want, because I'm just gonna do these do the outside of these. And you just turn them to the angle. You could put it straight on. I just didn't want to. There's no rhyme or reason to the way that I'm doing this. Put this one in here like that. A bit of background. I've been doing airbrush nails since 2018. Since 2018, I've been teaching nail art and airbrush nail art. I've been teaching nail art since... That was too big. I've been teaching nail art forever. But I've been doing those for 19 years already right now. At this point, 19 years is where we are. And then this really little bitty heart. Whoops, I thought I lost it. I'm gonna go ahead and put that here. Cool. So the first color that we're gonna put is red. I like to work lightest to darkest, but I want, yeah, so we'll do white first then. Yeah, I like to work lightest to darkest. The only thing I don't like about this paint is sometimes if you just open it up and you got dried paint chips around the nozzle, it'll fall into the paint cup, and you don't want that because it can clog stuff. So I'm talking about like the little chunks that form around here. Blow that off. Some drops of white. We had a little pink in there, but it shouldn't matter. Yeah, it's fine. Alright, so I'm just gonna trace, outline that with my handpiece. Nice and soft. And like right on top of your design, right? Why is it right on top? Because you get the best result. And then you're probably wondering, like, why did you do the white first? I do lightest to darkest. That way I don't really have to worry about super cleaning out my handpiece. So it just makes life easier if I do lightest to darkest. These stencils, look how crisp. These stencils stick really well. They're very reusable. I probably had these about 9 or 10 uses. So yeah. And I like to catch the edge and then peel up. See how clean that is? No weird sticky residue. I like to catch the edge of the stencil without scratching the paint below. These acrylic airbrush paints are non-toxic. They don't have a scent. They don't have any odors. You can still wear your mask when you wear them. But they're essentially acrylic airbrush paints. And like I said, I'll put the link to them. I'm also going to put some other hearts, and I'll do that in white. I mean in red. Okay, so let's add the other hearts that I wanted to do. I want to do these soft. And I like to keep everything in the stencil saver book because it just helps you not stick them on something and then the sticky is gone because you stuck it to some crazy plastic and you can't get it off. This is a nice stencil book. I'll link that below as well. I'll put this one on last because I already got these 3 on. I do a test spray before I spray on my product. And you see with that one, I didn't even actually spray close. I just sprayed around. Seen a lot of techs doing airbrush and they're complaining about like how the airbrush isn't good. Pay more for one and it'll be better. Pay more. The cheapies will not work as great as an Iwata, I promise. Like Iwata is legit. It is the bee's knees. So yeah, if you pay more for it, not those little $20 cheap ones, you will get better results. Ooh, it's cute. And you don't need a ton of paint. You just need a little. Boom. So the goal was I was gonna put like silver. I could still do it, like to represent the top of the cup. I don't know. I gotta think. So for this part, we're gonna use. This is a 3-part stencil, meaning it's 3 pieces in order to get the logo right where I want it. Got some lint on it, which is my fault. I am going to do the logo in black. So I'm going to place it just as straight as possible. Stencil material is nice and stretchy. And then this is coming off this little, you know, that little putty that you put on to keep the nail on there. It always gets on my nerves. There we go. All right, is it straight? Did I move it? I think it's straight as we can get it. So Stanley, S-T-A-N-L-E-Y. Let me put this down. It's easier if I put it down. I'm just gonna eyeball it to try to get it as close to that as possible. Stretch it a little bit. There you go. And the S-T and part of the A, not the full A. Cool. And then there's a little bitty triangle. I dropped it. Now I found it. That goes here for the A. And you're probably asking yourself, why didn't you just hand draw it? I'm not that great with hand drawing, but I know I can make a stencil and cut it. Now, at this point, if you're like very new to airbrushing and you want to make sure that you do not mess this up, you can go ahead and matte top coat this whole thing first, and then after it's done being matte top coated, then you can come back and spray, do the rest of your design, which is cool because it'll give it like a kind of raised effect. Or you can just say YOLO and go for it. This is the little piece of the bear's nose. So I'll make that. Now, if you're real smart, in order to keep the color that you don't want from getting everywhere else, you mask it off. And then I'm going to take this because I'm going to use black. So I really don't want black to get on stuff that I don't want it on. So take those, get those out the way. And then right here at the bottom, just use another stencil. Just to mask it off. We'll use another piece. Cool. Now let's put black in our handpiece. Okay. We got black in our handpiece. It's a tight curve on these nails. This is a shorter nail. So let me do this one first. And this is what I was saying, spray 90 degrees, because then you'll still get a good application. Also, I probably should have wiped this paint off of the stencil that I already used, because when it dries a little stiff. So we'll see. Dun, 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 dun. Paint dries pretty quick too. Ooh, nice clean peel. Okay, okay. Yikes. It's a good stick. We still gotta get the bear's little nose off. Ooh. So far, so good. Okay, so let's get this part off. I usually like wiggle it just a little bit. All right, I'm gonna quit. See? Boom. And I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, sometimes I make sure I save all those little pieces. If I don't, because I make stencils, I'll just cut my own. Be very clear with everybody. This stencil is not for sale. I am just showing you the possibilities when you make your own stencil. There we go. And now I use it a few times, so I'm not even gonna try to save it. But boom. And I wanted to make sure I did it the right way, because this would go on this hand like this. So boom. Now to finish our design out, we just need to base coat first. So we base coat first, and then we're gonna cure that. Some lint. Base coat. And then you're gonna cure this for 10 seconds. All nice and base coated.